This is a Saturday morning TV log from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday morning TV log, and this time around it's the Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan, brought to us by Hanna-Barbera. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, this week's Saturday morning TV log is the Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan, sometimes abbreviated as the Amazing Chan Clan for short. It's an animated television series produced by Hanna-Barbera and animated by Eric Porter Studios in Australia. The show originally premiered on CBS in September of 1972. It only ran for a mere season. It ran until December of 72, but continued in reruns through the summer of 73. And then later in syndication from 76 to 82. The show was loosely based on the Charlie Chan series of mystery novels and films, which began with 1925's novel, The House Without a Key. Now, throughout the series, legendary Chinese sleuth Charlie Chan is both impeded and assisted by his brood of 10 children and their dog Choo-Choo in the process of solving mysteries and catching wily master criminals. Now, of course, this is another one of Hanna-Barbera's many attempts to try to follow in the footsteps of Scooby-Doo. And I'm going to say this one kind of comes real close to topping them all. The family travels around the world in the Chan van, a vehicle built by teenage genius Alan, which can transform itself with the push of a button. While solving mysteries, the Chan kids break off into small groups, mostly like the Mystery Inc. gang. Henry and Stanley, the two oldest of the group, are being paired together and driving the Chan van. To ostensibly aid in their detective work, Stanley usually changes into some sort of goofy disguise, much to the chagrin of his older brother Henry. Yeah, he's usually not too thrilled when he sees Stanley in disguise. He's like, take off that stupid disguise! As in other Hanna-Barbera cartoons of the period, the kids also have a music group, the Chan Clan, and they perform a song in each episode. Now let me see here. Don Kirshner, who had recently produced songs for the Monkees TV series and Filmation's The Archie Show, produced the songs for the series. Ron Dante supplies the singing voice of Stanley as he did for Archie on The Archie Show. Now, after a total of 16 episodes, the show had come to an end. But anyway, now, for our voice cast, as I can see here, Key Luke is to date the only actor of Chinese ancestry to play the part of in a screen adaptation. Luke, of course, you may mostly know him best as Mr. Wing, the Chinese man from Gremlins later on. He recently voiced Brack in Space Ghost a few years before this. Excuse me. Luke had previously portrayed number one's son Lee Chan, Officer Warner Ulland, whose characterization had a relatively limited vocabulary in the long-running Charlie Chan film series of the 1930s and 1940s by 20th Century Fox, and later Monogram Pictures. Early on, it was decided that most of the children's accents were too thick for American audiences to understand, and all the characters except Henry and Alan were recast. Once the new cast was in place, earlier episodes were redubbed. Now, aside from Key Luke, Henry's voiced by Robert Ito. Stanley originally was voiced by Stephen Wong, but was later replaced by Lenny Weinrib, who would later go on to voice Inch High Private Eye and, of course, be the original voice of Scrappy-Doo. Oh yeah, and he'd also voiced Chet on Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, which actually came out the same year. Next up is Susie Chan, originally voiced by Virginia Ann Lee, and then but later voiced by Sherry Lindley. I'm not sure if they're any relation though. Alan Chan is voiced by Brian Tochi. I believe that name does sound familiar. Yes, I thought so. He'd later go on to play Tigar on Filmation's live-action series Space Academy, and he would also play Toshiro in the Revenge of the Nerds franchise, Tomoko in the third and fourth Police Academy films, and as the voice of Leonardo in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action films. Ann Chan was originally voiced by Leslie Kumamoto, but was later voiced by future big star Jodie Foster, who the following year, I believe, would voice Pugsley in Hanna-Barbera's Addams Family cartoon. And of course, she went on to appear in numerous films, including Disney films such as Candleshoe and the original Freaky Friday. Tom Chan is voiced by Michael Takamoto originally, and then was John Gunn who took over. Next, we have Flip Chan, who was originally voiced by J.J. Ju, but later redubbed by Gene Andrusco. Now, Flip led the group, the younger group, the other younger siblings, Nancy, voiced by Debbie Ju originally, but later redubbed by Beverly Kushida. Mimi Chan, originally voiced by Leslie Jawai, but later redubbed by Sherry Lynn Lee, who was voicing Susie. And Scooter, who was originally voiced by Robin Toma, but was redubbed by Michael Morgan. I might have gotten them Flip and Scooter mixed up. If I did, I humbly apologize. And Choo Choo the dog's vocal effects were done by Don Masick, who, of course, was already known for voicing numerous characters at Hanna-Barbera, including a certain Scooby-Doo. Unfortunately, the program was sharply criticized by the community coordinator of the Chinese Media Committee of Chinese for Affirmative Action, an advocacy group based in San Francisco for continuing to isolate generations of Chinese Americans as being different, and keeping the same detective intoning stilted fortune cookie English spoken proverbs. Well, Robert D. Wood, president of CBS at the time, responded by calling the show a lighthearted escapist program for youngsters, emphasizing the stereotypical Asian American tropes of filial piety and intelligence as positive contributions, with the hope that CBS's Chan might begin to replace some of the abrasive imagery created by the old Charlie Chan character. However, Catherine Fong, the woman who I will mention, was the community coordinator of this little organization I mentioned, called this attitude a great tragedy, convincing many people that this kowtowing caricature, I'm sorry if I mispronounced these words, is acceptable, and drew an analogy with a hypothetical cartoon about Adolf Hitler. If CBS did a cartoon called Hitler's House, along the same lines of respect and German pragmatism as your interpretation of Chan's wisdom, would that begin to replace some of the abrasive imagery created by the old Hitler and make it more forcible to, I think you know this. Fong went on to testify about the program before the FCC in January of the following year. Nevertheless, this show is still a pretty good show. Later on, it got rerun on Cartoon Network. I don't think it got rerun on USA, though. I don't think it did. But it later got rerun on Cartoon Network in Boomerang, which is where I actually got to encounter the cartoon for the first time. I actually liked it and what have you. I especially like its intro theme, too. It's pretty cool. But however, despite the little bit of controversy and what have you, it still got a lot of marketing, including a board game, jigsaw puzzle, Lunchbox with Thermos, and comic book series. And at about the same time that the show came out, Gold Key Comics produced a series, a comic book series. It only lasted 4 issues, though, starting in May of '73. Its last issue was published in February of '74. The first issue was actually an adaptation of the very first episode of the series. After that, it hasn't been shown much and what have you. In 2012, the show actually got released in a complete series set from the Warner Archive. I think you can still get for a pretty reasonable price. I don't know where if it's streaming on maybe Boomerang's app or Amazon.com or what have you. But if it is, then look it up. Oh yeah, you can also find an episode or two on the Saturday morning cartoons of the '70s series, collections from Hanna-Barbera and other studios. Oh boy, I'm getting tongue-tied here. That Warner Home Video released a few years before the complete series even came out. Anyway, now the Chans actually appeared in an episode of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. And Mimi Chan was featured, maybe a little different, in an episode of Crypto is Superdog. And there was even a high school student resembling Susie in 3 season 1 episodes of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. The Chans actually would appear in the anime series Jellystone on Max, formerly HBO Max. Okay, that about covers it. Anyway, The Amazing Chan, the Chan Clan, I think it's pretty fun and what have you. I don't care what anybody says. If you'll give me a moment, let me give you maybe a wee bit of a better look at the group. Here's a picture of the whole group here, and yes, I was correct. Flip was the leader for the youngsters and what have you. Now you see what the Chan Clan looks like, if you've never seen the show. Now, even like Scooby-Doo, sometimes they just, predict that the people they encounter have done and what have you. But unlike Scooby-Doo or even the previous Hanna-Barbera mystery series, the Funky Phantom, they didn't encounter monsters that were humans in disguise, you know. But nevertheless, The Amazing Chan, the Chan Clan, I think it's just a really good tune. I wish it could have went on for a few more episodes and what have you. Don't you think? Well, we can dream, you know. But anyway, The Amazing Chan, the Chan Clan, it's pretty good though. I don't care what they said a long time ago. I just like it for what it had to offer, and it was Hanna-Barbera who did it. So what did you think of The Amazing Chan, the Chan Clan? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned, because later tonight I will be giving to you my spoiler-free review of The Flash. I hope for the best this is going to be a good flick. So anyway, if you like this video, consider checking out these Saturday Morning TVLogs of other Hanna-Barbera shows with mystery or maybe intrigue and what have you. You get the point. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog I did on the new Scooby-Doo movies, which premiered the same year this did in 1972. The upper right-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog I did for another show that really did have a good mystery feel to it, and that was Clue Club from 1976. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see some with more music and mystery, suspense, and I don't know what have you, in Josie and the Pussycats from 1970. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TVLog, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Sky Surfer Strike Force. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.